Hi, my name is Ed Jackson. I'm the tour sound specialist for Harman, and I'm going to take you through another instalment of our how-to series of videos dealing with the 1.6 software update and dealing with a couple of features that are going to be useful for monitor engineers. First feature that I'd like to tell you about is the pre-dynamic auxiliary send option. This is useful for a couple of reasons. Being able to send an uncompressed signal to the in-ears of a vocalist or the monitor of a bass player or keyboardist can sometimes help them out on stage because they're not going to be used to hearing the compression that you're putting across as part of the front of house mix. So being able to send them uncompressed signals is going to give them a better experience on stage. The second thing is that in some small venues, when you're mixing monitors from front of house, you can find that when you're overly compressing something that's necessary for the front of house mix, it can cause you feedback problems on stage. So being able to turn off the dynamics when you're sending them to stage will hopefully stop feedback, make a better show for everybody else, and generally make everything cool. Okay, the way that we do this, if we select the mix that you would like to alter, select Outputs and DMX, and then you can scroll down to the pre-fader source. Click this, and then you've got the option of Post EQ or pre-dynamics. Now when you select this, this will apply globally for every pre-fade send across this output bus. So it's not an individual per channel thing, it is a global thing across this bus, but that is only for the pre-fade sends. So if you did want to send a compressed signal to that output bus, you could do it as a post-fade setting. Next thing that I'd like to talk to you about is the input soloing mode. Soloing a channel is an important part of listening to what's happening on it before you send it to the mix. When you hit a solo button on its own, it will give you a PFL signal, so a pre-fade level. This means that you can adjust the gain on the headphones, you can listen to anything that shouldn't be there, any earth hum, any crackles, any buzzes, before you're sending it to let the audience hear it. If you select 2 or 3 solos, then the pre-fade level will turn to an after-fade level. So this will mean that whatever mix you've got going on there will then go to your headphones. Now that's great for some reason. If you are trying to monitor the in-ear mix that you're sending to someone, if you're trying to monitor what's going on with the mix and monitor the balance that you've got going to front of house, then that's quite useful. There are some times when it would be nice to be able to have more than one channel as a pre-fade level mode. Examples would be if you are trying to check between a bass DI signal and a bass mic signal, check that they're in phase, check that they're not cancelling each other out, check that you've got both of them to a workable gain. Under snares and over snares, again, it can be quite useful to get them to a working gain so that it sounds nice as one cohesive signal before you start putting it into the mix. To do this, if we hit the solo button, again, scroll down to input solo mode, click it, and then you have the option of auto, PFL and AFL. So for the function that I was talking about, which you would do generally during sound check, generally when you're trying to set stuff up, you have the PFL option. Then during your gig, when you might want to be able to mix it as an auto mode, you go back to auto. One thing to bear in mind is that when you're using the PFL mode, once you start adding channels together, they can sum into quite loud signals, and if you're using headphones with a moderate amount of volume, all of a sudden that can get very loud quite quickly, and you want to protect your hearing because you need that. Thanks very much for watching our how-to video series. If you like what you see, make sure that you subscribe to our video channel, like us on Facebook, and keep checking the website for further updates. Good luck.